The story begins in a prison located in Colorado, where thousands of dangerous criminals are locked up. This is not an ordinary prison, but a high-security facility from which escape is considered impossible. Guards keep a strict watch on prisoners 24 hours a day, and anyone who attempts to escape is punished so brutally that the other inmates lose all courage to even think about escaping. Inside this prison lives a prisoner named Ray. Ray is no ordinary criminal. He is a mastermind who has already escaped from 14 different prisons. For the past several days, he has been secretly planning how to escape this prison as well. Ray carefully studies every corner of the prison and quickly figures out which part of the structure is the weakest. After returning to his cell, he immediately starts working on his escape plan. First, he begins counting time inside his cell, and after exactly 7 minutes, he notices the guards returning. This helps him realize that every day the guards leave for 7 minutes to smoke cigarettes. Although Ray now understands the guards' routine, his cell is controlled by an electronic locking system. To escape, he must somehow discover the lock's code. One day, when a guard brings food to his cell, Ray notices a plastic layer on the milk carton. An idea instantly comes to his mind. He secretly removes the plastic sheet and later sticks it over the electronic keypad while leaving the cell. After the guards type the code, Ray removes the sheet and successfully reads the fingerprints left on it, revealing the passcode. Outside the prison, Ray secretly sends a coded message to his teammates, informing them about the date and time of his escape. His team immediately understands the plan. Now fully prepared, Ray stuffs tiny balls of tissue paper into the small food slot of his cell door so that it cannot fully lock. Later, when the guards leave for their smoking break, Ray quickly types the code into the electronic lock and opens his cell door. He crawls through the ventilation system and quietly reaches the control room. At the same time, outside the prison, a woman parks a car and walks away. Moments later, the car explodes. The blast distracts all the guards, giving Ray the perfect opportunity. He enters the control room and switches his cell camera footage to reverse playback, making it appear as if he is still inside the cell. Soon after, firefighters arrive at the prison to handle the explosion. Disguised in a firefighter uniform, Ray calmly walks out of the prison unnoticed. Outside, a car arrives carrying 2 of his teammates, and Ray escapes with them. However, after driving some distance, his teammates leave him on an isolated road, believing he is now safe. Suddenly, a police car spots Ray. Since he is still wearing prisoner clothes, the police immediately recognize him as an escaped convict and arrest him again. But just then, a man named Clark arrives and shows some papers to the officers. After checking the documents, the police release Ray. Clark then takes Ray directly back to the prison warden from which he had escaped earlier. The shocked warden asks Ray why he has returned. Clark explains that he and Ray work for a security company. Ray is not actually a criminal. His job is to enter prisons as an inmate and test their security systems. By escaping, Ray has proven that even this high-security prison has weaknesses. Clark further explains that Ray has escaped from 14 prisons before, and the company pays him huge amounts of money for testing prison security. The warden has no choice but to accept the truth. The next day, while Ray is at the office with his teammates, a CIA agent named Jessica arrives. She offers Ray a new assignment with double the payment. She tells him about a secret prison considered the most secure prison in the world. Very few people know where it is located. Jessica wants Ray to prove whether escaping from this prison is possible. However, there is one condition. Once Ray enters the prison, his team will not be allowed to help him, and nobody will know his location. Ray's team immediately rejects the offer, but Jessica challenges Ray's ego by saying that maybe the stories about him escaping 14 prisons are fake. Insulted, Ray accepts the mission. Jessica explains the details. Inside the prison, Ray will use the fake name Anthony and enter under smuggling charges. If anything goes wrong, he must tell the prison warden a secret code, 310275. Hearing this code should make the warden realize that Ray is working for the government and release him immediately. Before Ray leaves, his team secretly implants a tracking device inside his body so they can monitor his location. But when Ray reaches a marketplace, masked men suddenly kidnap him in a black vehicle. They somehow already know about the tracker and surgically remove it, making Ray disappear completely from his team's radar. When Ray regains consciousness, he finds himself inside a bizarre prison, unlike anything he has ever seen. The prison has no visible walls. Prisoners are locked inside transparent glass cells, and drones constantly monitor them. All the guards wear black masks, making it impossible to identify them. Ray immediately realizes escaping from this prison will not be easy. He approaches the prison warden and calls him Warden Marsh, but the warden replies that his name is Hobbs, and there is no one named Marsh here. Ray becomes suspicious. He then tells the warden the secret code, 310275, but the warden says he knows nothing about it and simply gets paid to keep Ray imprisoned forever. At that moment, Ray understands that he has been betrayed and trapped. The next day, the prison announces the arrival of a new inmate named Anthony. Hearing this name, another prisoner named Michael suddenly becomes alert. Later, when several prisoners attack Ray, Michael steps in and protects him, warning everyone not to touch Anthony. Since Michael is the oldest and most feared prisoner there, everyone backs away. Ray realizes he needs allies to survive and escape, so he befriends Michael. Together, they begin studying the prison carefully. Ray notices a brutal isolation chamber used to punish prisoners. Wanting to inspect it, he asks Michael for help. Michael suddenly attacks Ray, causing a fight between them. Guards arrive and throw both men into the isolation chamber. Inside, extreme heat and bright lights torture them. While suffering there, Ray notices a large metal plate on the floor, secured with bolts. Later, a doctor comes to check on them. When Ray tries speaking to the doctor, a guard interrupts. The doctor lies to protect Ray, making Ray realize that the doctor might secretly help them later. Back in the cafeteria, Ray explains to Michael that the prison must be near the ocean because of the humid air. He also tells Michael about the metal plate inside the isolation chamber. If they can get a metal tool, they might be able to escape through that route. Michael later steals a metal piece while being tortured by the warden for information about a mysterious man named Victor. Michael secretly gives the metal piece to Ray. As they talk more, Michael reveals that he is innocent and imprisoned because he once worked for Victor, a man who steals from the rich and gives money to the poor. The prison authorities want Victor's location, but Michael refuses to betray him. Ray then reveals his own tragic past. He used to be a lawyer who successfully imprisoned a dangerous criminal. But after escaping prison, that criminal murdered Ray's wife in revenge. Since then, Ray dedicated his life to testing prison security so that no criminal could ever escape again and hurt innocent families. Ray also explains that the prison warden has studied the book Ray wrote about escaping 14 prisons. Using Ray's own methods, the warden improved every weakness, making this prison nearly impossible to escape. Still determined, Ray and Michael deliberately get themselves thrown into isolation again. This time, while Michael distracts the guards by screaming in pain, Ray blocks the camera with chewed bread and secretly removes the floor bolts. He crawls through the tunnel beneath the chamber and climbs through pipes until he finally reaches the surface. But when Ray looks outside, he is horrified. The prison is not on land at all. It is built inside a gigantic ship floating in the middle of the ocean. Realizing escape may be impossible, Ray loses hope. But after returning safely to his cell, Michael motivates him to keep fighting. Eventually, Ray, Michael, and another inmate named Javd form a team. Using stars and a homemade navigation device, they discover that the ship is somewhere near Morocco in the Atlantic Ocean. With help from the sympathetic doctor, they secretly contact Michael's allies outside the prison and plan their escape. The next morning, chaos erupts inside the prison as planned. Ray, Michael, and Javd fight their way upward while the warden locks down the ship. During the escape, Ray discovers motion detectors guiding the guards and destroys them. He then tells Michael to take Javd to the roof, while he shuts down the ship's engine. Javd, too injured to continue, stays behind and sacrifices himself fighting the guards so Michael can escape. Meanwhile, Ray successfully shuts down the engine, allowing the roof doors to open. Michael reaches the roof, where a helicopter arrives to rescue him. Down below, Ray hides inside a ballast tank, while the warden searches for him. As the tank fills with water, Ray realizes the pressure will eject him outside the ship. The warden understands too late. A massive surge of water blasts Ray out into the ocean. Michael spots him from the helicopter and lowers a ladder. As Ray climbs up, the warden opens fire, injuring Michael. Furious, Ray shoots at nearby oil tanks instead of the warden directly, causing a gigantic explosion that kills the warden. Finally, Ray and Michael escape the impossible prison. After landing safely near the shore, Jessica arrives and reveals the truth. Michael's real name is Victor, and Jessica is his daughter. She admits she never hired Ray to test the prison's security. She hired him to rescue her father. She also reveals that Clark betrayed Ray out of greed and worked with the warden, so Ray would never escape, and Clark could take over the company. Meanwhile, when Clark learns Ray survived, he tries to flee. But Ray's teammates capture him, lock him inside a shipping container on a cargo ship, and leave him trapped forever, with no idea where he is being taken. And with that, the story comes to an end.